All right. Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk with Patrick podcast, one of the realest podcasts in the world, the land, the galaxy, and the whole entire universe. That is right, baby. This is your guy, Patrick, aka Pete Thriller. That's right. How's it going, everybody, on this wonderful Sunday? Well, it's cold here. It's snowing, and oh, jeez, my God. But it's the time of the year, okay? We're about to head into November. It started next week. Well, I guess this week, since it is Sunday, right? It's a whole new week. So yeah, we got Halloween next few days officially, and then we move into the fall and Thanksgiving. Well, we in the fall right now. Sorry, okay, my bad. We're moving to the holidays, okay, holiday season. But anyway, people, this episode I'm doing right now is about my mom. This is special and dear to me because she was one of the most kindest people I ever met in my life. I haven't met a person like her ever since, and it definitely affected me deeply once I lost her. Because for so long we kept trying to, help her, and we wanted her to defeat this diabetes thing. And we always stayed on top of her as far as like, taking medicines and make sure you eat healthy, make sure you do this, do that. And we gonna do but so much when we at a distance. But my biggest fear definitely happened for sure. You know what I mean? Because like I always had this thought in my head that I'm gonna get a phone call about her either being a diabetic coma or something tragic may happen, right? And it did. It really did, because her phone was off for a week because she talked to me on my birthday. It was in 2020, January 8th. We talked for like 3 hours on the phone. I mean, she would tell me so many things I never even knew about. Okay, she would tell me about her great grandmother. I think it's her great grandmother. Yeah, her great grandmother who was born a slave. She was born like in 1860 something like that. And my mother was 10 when she met the woman. It was like in 1964, 3, 4. Yeah, so 1964. And the woman had cataracts, though. Like, she could not see at all, but she used to feel my mother's hair. And I asked my mom, I said, how did she talk? Did she talk like a slave? She said, nah, she talked pretty eloquent. I said, really? I said, okay, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? But yes, it's like those type of stories I miss hearing from my mother because I never knew about that until before she died. That's when she started to, just tell me all kind of stories that like family history stuff and just different things I never knew about. I had an idea about certain things, but I didn't really officially know until she said it. And I said, wow, that's pretty intriguing for sure. So then her phone got cut off, and then my brother called me during that week. He was like, man, so something about, because he was in Canada, but he ended up coming back, and he was just like busy, like working a lot. And we talked on the phone. We was like, man, like something's just weird. Like, I don't know what it is, because we definitely had those times where her phone was off, and we're like, man, like we gotta get her phone come back on, blah blah blah. But this time we just felt something in our heart, like something was not right, like something was not right at all. And next thing you know, days later, my brother called me. I had the feeling it's gonna be something bad because his tone. I'm like, oh, gee. I said, what's going on? Is she in the hospital again or what? And he was like, man, mom was brain dead. I said, brain dead? She was brain dead for like 9 hours. I said, 9 hours? Jeez. And yeah, he told me that, and they took us to the hospital. And once we got off the phone, that's when I just broke down. I was at work. I just went around the corner somewhere, just broke down for a while. I got myself together, and I told my manager at the time, I told her what was going on, what was happening. And I'm like, look, I'm gonna have to like fly home real soon to pretty much let her go. Because when somebody brain dead, what can you do about it? Especially for 9 hours, what can you do about it? Because I think the longest you can go is like 20 minutes, I believe, before you're just pretty much just gone or have some kind of brain damage. And at that point, it was no coming back for her. Not 8 hours like that. No. And so I flew home for that. Well, I went to the airport. I would never do a buddy pass ever again. Nope. Because my sister-in-law, she said, I got this. Sorry. I'm telling this story. I'm sorry. I know you probably watching this right now. But she's like, I got a friend that worked for Delta, and she get you a buddy pass. I said, cool. So I went to the airport, and I waited like all night. Seriously, all night long. I went to the stewardess. I said, hey, do you guys have any available seats? Did somebody cancel? She said, no. everybody want to fly to Atlanta. I said, damn. So I called my brother. I said, look, man. I said, I'm just had to just cancel this and just go back home, man. I said, because I can't. I'm not staying here all night because I didn't have no money at the time. Like I had to pay all my bills and everything. I was gonna pay once a month at the time. So it happened like in the middle of the month when I didn't have that much money. And so they end up canceling that and they end up buying me a flight. I'm like, thank God. So they bought me a flight. I was picked up at the airport and then we went over to my relative Jackie's place. We chilled for a second. I like changed clothes, went to the hospital. Everybody crying and just such a like a somber feeling, just weird feeling, just in the hospital. And my pops, he was crying and just acting crazy and stuff. And my siblings, they was devastated. And my friend Larry came, and it was just so many people. All those people from different states coming through to see my mom. And you had this woman named Phaedra from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her mother was there. She came, and she actually did my mother's New Testament for the funeral. She did, yeah, because they met back in the 70s. Both of them was young mothers. My mom was a single mom, and my mother helped her get a job, and they became like really good friends ever since then. And Phaedra and my brother was really cool as well. They grew up together, so that's a connection there. But anyway, the hospital, it's kind of like a blur because it's so much was happening at that time. My emotions was all over the place, and I don't really cry that much, but I was crying at times. And man, it was just such a like weird thing. And seeing my nephews, like seeing them hurt and confused, I'm just like, man, it devastated me. It definitely did. It definitely did for sure. And the doctor came. He was like, "Hey, we need to get signatures on when to pull the plug because there's no coming back for her. Her kidneys is failing. Her urine is the color of coffee." And I'm just like, man, I said, what in the world, man? And then we had this episode where her head moved, and we got excited. I said, "Oh shit, that's her head moving," and she's moving like to the side like that. And the doctor, he said, "No, that's just her nerves." I said, "Damn, it's okay." That killed all that for me. Like shit. And at that point, we was there for hours, and I was just done. I said, "Let's just." I hate to be like, but it's like let's just pull the plug and get it out the way. You know what I mean? Because she's not coming back. So we signed the papers. They pulled the plug, and then we all went in the room with her and had our little one-on-one, well, a little one-on-one I guess intimate sessions as far as like talking to her and telling her how we feel and wishing her well on her journey, her spiritual journey, and things like that. And, of course, crying. And man, that was devastating, very devastating. I just couldn't even believe that. I really couldn't believe that she was gone. You know what I mean? Because like when you're a kid, you always have this thought that your parents gonna be here forever. You know what I mean? Like even though I know that's not the case because I lost so many people before that, but it's just one of those things you will never see your parent, especially your mom, like die. You don't think you'll see that. At least for a long time, at least like until I'm old. You know what I mean? But that was just a devastating moment. Like it really like destroyed me. It hurt my heart big time. And trying to do the funeral arrangements, and it was just a lot going on with that situation. A lot of stuff that was happening. I'm not gonna say too much, but a lot of stuff that was happening. And yeah, I'm not gonna get into all that, but it affected me. I'll say that much. And I took 2 weeks off from work. I stayed in Georgia for a while and just kind of like trying to process things and talk to my siblings and just talk to people and just trying to figure things out, just figure out what's next, like what we're doing going forward. Then I came back. I contacted my manager at the time. I said, "Hey, Susan, I need to find me a therapist. You think we have a therapist here?" And she said, "Let me look." So she started searching for a therapist, and she found one. And ironically, this woman's from Georgia as well. And her and I connected. I went to the office to talk to the woman. We talked for like 3 hours. We had a great conversation. I mean, she was just in awe at the things I was telling her, especially like my upbringing and how things were and, things I experienced. And and just life in general. She was just like, wow, like you really went through it. And I had to talk to somebody because I felt like I was going crazy. Like I really was going insane. And this was before the pandemic occurred. Like the pandemic was happening right around the corner, but I didn't even care at that point because Kobe Bryant had died in the airplane. I cared, but I was so, just caught up in my mom's death and things that was going on at that time. I just didn't really focus on it. It wasn't that important to me. Like, not to say it was not important, but my immediate family, that was a whole different type of responsibility. You know what I mean? A whole different type of focus I needed at that time. And man, I needed therapy. I did because I had buried so much stuff over the years, and things started to resurface, and therefore my brain just couldn't take it. And as men, we all tend to hold a lot of things. We hold a lot of our pain and a lot of our hurt. We hold all kind of things inside us, and we don't really let loose until we explode. And I said, at this time I'm doing things differently because when my brother passed back in '08, my brother Anthony, I didn't handle things 100% correctly. You know what I mean? I didn't do it the best way. So I said, this time I'm older, I'm gonna do things differently. So that's why I said I'm gonna, seek some help, get some therapy going, and this is what I did. And then of course the pandemic occurred and everything closed down. The gyms closed down. I started to eat really unhealthy. Started gaining weight. Started breathing really heavy, and it was just a bad time for me. I was feeling super depressed, because my mom was gone. My mother was gone. Her and I talked almost every day. We'll talk for hours at times, just about all kind of things. She was very supportive of me, and just all around, just a good person. You know what I mean? Like very, very beautiful person, beautiful soul, and she's heavily missed. She had a lot of different experiences, and like I said, when I was a kid, she used to, she didn't shelter me at all from things either. Like she, had me read the newspaper, even look at the news to see how the world is, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see the thing with me, compared to everybody else. A lot of people look at the world for how they think the world should be. I look at the world for what it is. That's why not many things surprise me because I know people gonna be people. Things gonna happen, whether we like it or not. And people been doing all kind of things since the beginning of time. So none of this stuff that's happening today is nothing new. It's not shocking. It's been more exposed now because of social media. But things always been happening. All these tragedies and situations always been occurring. So I never was surprised. I always had this awareness as a kid of life, and then plus like the way my father was. My father was a street dude. He was really out there. You know what I mean? He was doing his thing. The stuff that people rap about in their music, he was living it for real. He did. You know what I mean? He definitely did. And so I was around those things. And, as a kid, long back in the day, my pops used to go to jail and prison, on and off for different things. So my mom stepped up to the plate. She was holding it down. She was the one that was working. She was paying the bills. She was doing all these different things. And she was also, different. She had different jobs. I remember once upon a time, what year was this? Just like in like maybe 90 or something, 89, something like that. She was working, I think like UPS, I believe, but then she started working for this old folks home. And we met some of the people there. All them people got to be dead by now. Good Lord. Yeah, they was like super old back then. So they dead now. But it was this one lady named Miss Allibel, and she babysit my sister and I one time. She had to be born like in 1897 or something like that. Yeah, because she was pretty old. She was almost 100 when she died. So yeah, she was, yeah. But I think at that time she was like maybe late 80s, I think, something like that. She was pretty old, and she had those old school like heaters in her house, and it made the house super hot. I'm like, God, but I had no say so. I had to just deal with it. But it was really hot. And yeah, so she, had those different, people like that and different situations. And I remember she started working for this mental health and drug rehabilitation center. I met a few of her clients at that time. I remember one of them had died from AIDS. I think she was a prostitute, I believe, but she, sharing needles and things like that. And she, passing away from AIDS during that time. And we met a few of her other clients that came to the house. One of them was a couple, actually a married couple, and they love my mom. They did. The husband, he reminded me of Jeff, the comedian Jeff Foxworthy. He had the mustache and everything. If you know who that is, look him up. Jeff Foxworthy. That's what the guy kind of reminded me of. But my mom, did so many like amazing things for these people. Like they love my mom. They did. And then we had this other person. Her name was Melanie. She was one of my mom's clients. She was a lot younger. She's deceased now, but she was very gracious of my mom. She loved my mom to death. She did. She even helped my sister get a job at the dentist's office when she became of age. She did. Yeah. So, my mom definitely impacted a lot of people, and just like I said, just being around like that type of atmosphere, that definitely shaped me who I am as well as a person. She was not judgmental at all, because I don't judge people either. Unless you're doing something like real foul. That's when I start judging. But for the most part, I don't judge, because none of us are clean. Okay? You know what I'm saying? All of us done things in our time, for sure. Good, bad, wicked, whatever. We all done things. So I don't judge too much. No. But she was definitely an amazing soul. And a lot of people love my mom. For real. They loved her. A lot of people devastated when she passed. And I can still feel the energy to this day when people talk about her sometimes, when they ask me about her, or if I go home, people, see me, I can definitely feel it for sure. You know what I mean? But it was, it was definitely interesting times. Very interesting. I remember she worked for AT&T one time. She did that like part-time on the weekends. And my sister and I would be with her. We'll be in the lobby, like watching TV, soap operas, sitcoms, whatever. Well, not soap operas, but we watch like sitcoms, TV sitcoms they had on TV, just to kind of kill some time until she get done, because she'd clean up the bathrooms, and she'll, just like vacuum and things like that at the office. It was like a little part-time job, because like I said, at that time, my father was in and out of jail at that time. So she stood up to the plate and did her thing. And me being the man, I said, you know what? I'm the man in the house. Well, I'm a kid. Well, I'm the man in the house. And I try to be. And so she definitely, was a one of a kind person. She definitely taught me a lot in life. She taught me pretty much what I would want in a companion. Because I would like for somebody to be not like that. I don't want nobody to be my mother. No, I have a mother. Like, she's dead, but I don't need another. But just to have a companionship, somebody who supports me 100%. I support them. We trust each other. They trust me, and we just keep building and building and building. That's what I like. I mean, my mom was that kind of person. Very selfless. You know what I mean? She's very selfless. Very selfless. And despite how nice she was, she could never put her foot down. Because I remember one time when I was in school, there was a long time ago. It was like over 30 years ago for sure. And at that time, you had like movies like Boys in the Hood, and movies like Boys in the Hood, Boys in the Hood, that was the only movie that was out like that at the time, and I think like Colors and stuff like that. But anyway, you had those movies that was out at that time. And my teacher, she said some disparaging remarks to me. She was saying something about that I'm going to be a statistic and blase blase, because at that time they were saying like how black males going to be a dangerous species just because of the gun violence and prison and things like that. So she said like those type of statements to me, and I'm a child, and I came home and I repeated those words that she said. My mom was like, "Where did you get that from?" And I told her the teacher name, and it's when she went to the school and had a conversation, and she put me out of school and then transferred me to another school. Yep, that's true story, facts. And then I started to excel more with my grades. But yeah, so so we went through a lot of different things. We was in situations where we didn't have a car one time. We was on food stamps, the dollar bills, not EBT. Um, we had like the situation. My father was stabbed one time. He had to be in the hospital and get stitches. Yeah, it was a lot. You know what I mean? It was a lot of different things that was going on. I'm telling you, good Lord. But those stories and situations is real, and it made me who I am to this day. And I don't regret those things, because, like I said, it shaped me. It made me a very interesting person. And plenty of people have said it. They say, "Man, Pat, you a very interesting man." I say, you know what? I am. I am, and I accept that. I'm going to be myself 100%. There's one thing my mom always told me: be yourself, because people are going to find a reason to not like you anyway. So you might well just be yourself. Why conform and be whatever society wants you to be, or whatever this woman wants you to be? You want you to be yourself, and that's what I choose to be myself. And if you like it, that's cool, that's fine. And if you don't, that's cool and fine too. I'm okay with that. I'm really fine with that. But anyway, enough of that. My mom was very supportive. She was always encouraging. She always wanted me to be aware about things, and she was very supportive when it comes to different endeavors I was into, as far as like playing in the band. She was very supportive in that. She didn't like me boxing too much, but she understood why. You know what I mean? She understood why she didn't like me doing it, but it is what it is. And then I was doing music, making beats. Um, when I went to art school, she was supportive of that. And pretty much everything I was doing, she was okay with it. She said, you got my support 110%. I said, cool. I said, yeah, absolutely. And that's very important as a kid and as a teenager and a young adult. It's very important to have that support from your peer. Well, not from your peer, but from your mother or whoever is that person you look up to. My mom, she was a superhero to me. Seriously. I mean, again, I said my father was doing this thing at times. He was out, he locked up on and off. She was doing a thing. She was holding it down. And that really inspired me big time. You know what I mean? To see her, like, she was doing all these different things. She didn't have the most money, but she always found a way to make things happen. She found a way to pay the bills. She found a way to get a car. She found a way to get us a different home to move to. And until we was able to move to a permanent place. Well, not permanent now, but it was for a while. And we'll be with her. I mean, we used to go to this place looking at mobile homes. I was gonna say this woman's name. I ain't gonna say her name. I don't know if she's still alive, but I remember she got arrested because she was stealing. I said, Lord have mercy. But we used to go see this woman all the time because she loved my mom, and also she was trying to help us get an actual house because we was looking, because my mom was getting tired of moving to different places and renting out to different places and having these terrible landlords. And then at the time, one place we lived, they had like roaches in it, and they had mice, just all those different things. It just wasn't cool. Because I tell you what, I would not eat at home during that time. Because I remember one time I had a bowl of cereal, and I poured some milk in it, and I started eating it, and the dead roach float up, and I said, my God, I said, really? I threw it away. I said, you know what? I'm done. I said, I just wait till I go to school to eat. I'm serious. I'm serious. I use that free reduced lunch. You better believe it. I sure would. I get that super donut in the morning, and eat my breakfast. Then when lunch come, they have pizza or whatever they have, I devour it. I sure will. But yeah, I did not want to eat at home. And I remember sometimes if we out for a while and we come home, because we used to ride our bikes too, and my mom should take us to the park. We ride our bike in the park, and we'll come home and cut the light on, and roaches just scatter. I'm like, I was like, Jesus, man, it was just terrible. But all those things, those humble beginnings, and like I said, it just made me more appreciative about life now and where I see myself going forward. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to keep moving and keep progressing in life, and just honor my mom spirit, her energy, and just honor her as a person. Because like I said, she definitely done a lot of incredible things in her life. She helped out a lot of people. She's go feed the homeless. Even when she didn't have anything, she'll still feed them anyway. Some of my friends and Jay friends, when they need somewhere to stay, she let them stay with us for a while. And she just been there. I mean, people need to talk to her as far as like getting advice. She was there. She was like like a caretaker in some ways, caregiver, if that makes sense. She was just one of those people, just very easy to talk to, very personable. And I guess this is where I get that from as well. Like, I'm very personable. People feel very comfortable talking about any and everything, no matter how outrageous it is. You know what I mean? But I'm also very personable. Like, I'm very transparent as well. I'm not really ashamed of too much anything myself. So, it is what it is. We all have our own lives and our own experiences that make us who we are. But yeah, so she was just, like I said, she was just one of those people. She was just super giving. And I remember she beat cancer one time. That was very amazing. She had ovarian cancer from the baby powders, actually. She had won some money from that. and got surgery, and yeah, she was doing okay. Then she ended up paying for my sister's wedding with some of the money as well. So yeah, I mean, she was, a survivor. She went through it, and her spirit alone just helped me keep fighting, helped me keep going. Because some days I do want to just lay down and say I give up. I want to hold a white flag, like I surrender. But then I say, you know what? I can't do that because my mom didn't do that. My mom kept pushing forward. She was a fighter. She wasn't fighting like this, but she was a fighter mentally. In her heart, she was fighting. She was fighting every day. Excuse me. She had like different pain going on as far as like rheumatoid arthritis and her knee stuff, her her bones rubbing together when she walked. I don't know how she dealt with that for so long. She did it for a long time. Well, at least for a few years, like before she died. But she's dealing with it for a while. But she still had like this hope and belief that she was going to do better. She was going to, be in a real good situation, and she was just very positive. Even though she had days where sometimes you can tell the pain is getting to her, but overall she had a strong mindset. She just kept just putting her front foot forward and just moving. That's what she did. So that's why I keep doing the same thing. I don't let certain things bother me for too long. Like sometimes things may throw me off course for a second, but I get myself going. I say, I gotta get back on this horse and keep riding out. I have to. I have no choice. I cannot afford to lose. I can't afford to just quit. Because I don't have the support like that. Like I'm way out here. I don't have no family out here. You know what I mean? Like if I fail, I fail. Okay, my brother Anthony dead. My two parents is dead. My siblings, they got their own things they got going on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I got to keep pushing forward. I got to keep going. I can't allow anybody or anything to throw me off course and throw me off like that. No, 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 no. I can't do that. No, no. That's a big no for me. I don't have that luxury like that. You know what I mean? So I have to just keep pushing forward and just keep going, even on days when I don't feel like it and my body ache. I still keep going because I have to, because bills keep coming in. It don't stop. My name's still on that damn piece of paper. Okay. Well, on the envelope. So I still got to pay that, car insurance and, rent, groceries, gas, everything. Stuff that I want to buy for myself, miscellaneous items or any gifts I want to buy for myself to treat myself. I had to work for it. So that's what I do. But she was definitely, just all around overachiever, to be honest. Very educated. She met Angela Davis from the Black Panthers back in the 70s when she went to the UGA. She didn't go for long, but she went for a second. She worked for a law firm once upon a time. She worked with this guy named Michael Thurman. Michael Thurman, that dude's like a multi-millionaire now. He's banking, but she worked with him for a second. And then she ended up moving to New York City. The first day she moved to New York City, she ended up getting a job at this television show called Ryan's Hope. It's a soap opera. Your parents may know, your grandparents may know what I'm talking about. Just ask them, mention it, say something about it. But yeah, she working on that television set. She went to Studio 54 as well. She had all these pictures of different people that she met, like Sammy Davis and all these different guys and people. She lost it over the years in storage, but she had those when I was a kid. I used to see it. I was like, wow, that's pretty intriguing. But she did a lot of cool things, a lot of cool things. It's so much to my mom that it's really hard to just sit down and just really just pour everything out, because I would have to just sit down and just write everything, because so many different things I do forget at times. And then I remember once I'm done, I said, damn, I should have wrote that or said that. So maybe I can write this down one day and just kind of like, I guess, like post it or share it or something. But yeah, anybody know my mom would tell you she was definitely, God fearing, very respectful, very nice, just very kind, just very, just a human being, a people person. She has so much humility in herself. She didn't care about your race, your gender. She didn't care about none of that. You can be a thug, whatever, you know what I mean? Cool person, suburban person, whoever it is. She showed a lot of love to everybody, and people love my mom. She'll cook, the biggest meal, give everybody the best, biggest, warmest hugs. That's who she was. And if I like somebody, she liked them. She thought it was cool. You know what I mean? So she met a few of our friends over the years, and they love my mom. When she died, it hurt them too. It did. But I miss that mom. Damn, my bad. I miss my mom dearly. I do. I mean, wow. Some days it get real hard sometimes, but I get myself going, because I have no choice. I gotta keep going. I let myself weep for a second every now and then. I don't cry much. Not much anymore. I might do it once a year, if that, or twice. I just get myself going. The show don't stop. Nope, it doesn't. But like I miss that woman dearly. I miss the conversation that her and I had. Because even the stuff that's going on now, I would love to talk to her about that right now. I'm like, what do you think about this? Think about that, and just hear her opinion. Because she knew a lot. She was very, 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 very intelligent, very smart woman, and she always instilled education. She always told us to, educate ourselves. Just keep reading things, even things that don't really relate to you. Just know about it. So I read different things. I listen to different genres of music just because I thought it was dope, and also I'm just very curious about the musical structure because it is art. I went to art school. Okay, go figure. Okay, makes sense, right? Um, yeah. So I don't know. It's just it's really hard though. But like, she was definitely a special person. A very special person, and I just like I said, I just miss her a lot, and I'm just glad I had her for the time that I did have her. Yup. I'm glad I had her the time I did. Because some people lose their parents at a super young age, but then again, you got some people people that I meet in their 60s, they still have both their parents. I'm like, wow, that's incredible. I can't even fathom that at this point. I don't even know what it's like. I would never experience that. And, like I said, it's okay. It is what it is. We all, have our cards that we're dealt with, and we just navigate the best that we can. And that's what I'm doing all the time. But she was definitely an amazing soul, very amazing soul. If I had any kind of questions or if I needed some type of advice, she always had an answer for it. But a lot of times I didn't ask either because I was very similar. Like I had the answers to things that I wanted to ask as well, just because I live. I've been around all kind of people. Like a lot of my friends at once upon a time was much older than me, so I'm picking their brain. I'm listening to what they're saying. I'm trying to gain an understanding. But at the same time, again, my mom, had me reading different things. So I was always trying to just engage and think a lot instead of moving on impulses. I want to think about things before I do it. Not always that I do, because I am human, but for the most part, I really try to think. Well, try to uh, make a move after I think about it. I want to think about the pros and cons. If the pros outweigh the cons, I say I'm going for it. But if the cons outweigh the pros, I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna take a rain check on that. I'm going to relax. I'm chilling. So that's what that's how I think. This is my process. You know. But anyways, I appreciate you all for taking the time to sit down with me, and I'm just, I guess I'm kind of rambling. You know what I mean? I don't have a script. I'm just going off memory and how I feel. And plus, I don't want to like bore everybody to death with this stuff because I can go on and on about this. I really could, but I'm just trying to jump to the high points about her. You know what I mean? Because like I said, she was just one of those special people, very special being. You can look at her pictures and see it in her eyes. She was just very genuine. The eyes are to the soul. Well, reflection of the soul. I don't know how you say that part. I don't know how you, yeah, but you know what I mean. You know. But she was definitely that. Very, very that. She was super in tune with her spirituality and just her belief system. She was all into that. So I try to honor her by just doing the right thing and just trying to better myself and don't give up, don't lose hope, don't lose focus. And like I said earlier, it's like when it comes to like companionship, I don't want another mom. No. Now when it comes to women, it's like I would like somebody just to have that non-judgment, that but we can build and just keep building, grow stronger as a unit instead of dividing. And you know what I mean? Like it's just not healthy. And having like actual dialogue and conversation, listening to each other with understanding, not to react, just to be right, but just actually process what the person's saying, and try to look at their point of view, and then respond with the educated answer, if that makes sense, a well thought out answer that just makes sense. Because react off things off impulse and emotion, it just come out all messed up. And then the message is just drowned. It's drowned just because of the emotion. So sorry, I think I kind of butchered that. Sorry about that. I'm a little tired, but whatever. I didn't sleep enough, so I'm just trying to do this real quick. Have this episode out, and also honor my mom. But yeah, but that's what I look for when it comes to companionship. How I think it should be, because a lot of times, people look at the movies, they get so warped and brainwashed by movies, and movies are fiction. They are something that people create. It's an ideal. It's not real life. And for some reason, people grow up and they get warped with that, and they think that's how real life works. And it's not. No, that's not real. But anyway, but that's what I look for when it comes to those things, for sure. I just want that kind of that dynamic, for sure. You know what I mean? Because you can have all the looks and all that. That's fine, and the money. But even rich people get divorced all the time. We see that all the time. Okay, so you can have all that, but if you don't have the connection and the understanding, even trying to get to know somebody and communicate, it will go sour. And we see it every single day. Okay, but anyways, well, my bad. I gotta go back. But yeah, so that's what I look for. But of course, it's not many people like that in this world who are willing to put their pride to the side and try to grow and evolve, and whatever pain they dealt with in the past, to try to work through it. It's like people want to blame somebody for whatever they dealing with. So it's just good for people to stay to themselves a lot of times, so they sort their own self out and get themselves together. Okay. But anyways, thanks for tuning in with me once again. I appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great day, and please take it easy. Stay tuned in for the next episode. All right. Peace, love, and hell grease. Yeah.